trained from different mentors, and I used to study till 2 and 3. In fact, there was time when my husband came to the coffee zone area where I usually used to sit and study. He used to tell me, agar tu itna IAS ke liye bhi padhai karti na, to tu clear kar leti thi. Like the way you are putting in your efforts. Because I told him, see, I am not that I'm anywhere behind, but I have to know that I'm competing with much younger girls. And let me tell you, pageantry is an expensive hobby. Just because with this, it doesn't solve it. When I'm talking about body, brains, and beauty, I had to work on my hair, I had to work on my skin, I had to work on my teeth, I had to work on everything. I have to make sure that I was a different person when I reached my pageant. So it is just not that I start getting trained from somebody to do my Q&A and I'm really sorted. I'm not. I have to make sure that I look good. I learn good makeup, because you're under high scrutiny of cameras when you reach the pageant. I had to do a photo shoot to learn the skills and to be a photographer's delight. Because photographer was not going to waste his time telling me what poses I'm supposed to give him. So I had to do all that training to be where I am today. Of course,
Amazing, amazing journey, amazing stories, and amazing dedication. We will revisit. We will revisit each part of the journey slightly more in depth, because
of course,
I want you to dig deep and tell us more
of course,
about it. I see a lot of people
of course.
who are wishing you on Facebook. There's Renu Sethi who says hi to Simran. A friend of mine from Calcutta, Tuhin Mukherjee, says the story is awesome. Already he's floored by the story, and he's a great consultant in the hospital management business in Calcutta. So we do a lot of work together. Asha Agarwal, you already know, I'm sure. She says, what a story, superb. There's Bhushan who's watching us. So to all of us in Zoom as well as on Facebook, we have not structured this as a conversation only. So any queries that you have about what we can do, and please don't ask Simran, like somebody asked the dentist the other day, that what toothpaste should I use for my teeth to look whiter. So please don't get into the specifics. That we can always get. So don't ask Simran what is the kind of exercises that you should do to lose 10 kgs weight. So those are specifics. But from a much broader perspective, anyone who has anything to come and please let us know. So last 15 minutes we will track what people are saying. But Simran, let's go back to your childhood. Let's go back to your childhood. You were born and brought up in Mumbai?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Born and brought up in Mumbai. What kind of family structure you had? Not in terms of who all there in the family, but what was the mindset of the family? Was it somebody who would allow you to become a film star, or who would say that, "Nahi, beti, shadi kar liye, school teacher ban jao," and that's because that's what we believe. So different families have different mindsets. Nothing right or wrong.
Yeah. No, right. I actually came from a family where we were four sisters. Where we are four sisters. My father used to work for BRC. So the only intention that my parents had was to let them finish their education and get married and go and settle down in their own houses. Very, very typical. In fact, when I told my father I'm doing my master's and I want to do LLB after that, my father's first answer was, see, listen, that LLB is going to take another 4 years and I'm not ready to wait. So please go and do what you want when you go to your husband's house. So it was like, okay, if you are doing your master's good, if we get a good boy, we are going to get you married. And whatever you want to do in life, we are not bothered. Please make sure that you go and convince your husband to do that. Though their mindset has changed today with time. But I think if I had that kind of support 20 years back, probably I would have been a different person today, much more than what I am. But this journey just begins 7 years back. That's only because my husband showed. The only question that I asked him, which I was very sure he was going to say no, I just asked him, you think I should do this Mrs. India? And I was like all ready that he's going to say no to me. And he just turned and he told me, yeah, I think you should try. And those 5 letter at that moment, that yes, I think you should try, 6 letter, it actually changed my life. Because I was not expecting, and once when I got a yes from him, and today in fact I teach my students that if you're confident, that you don't need approval from others. But back then it wasn't like that. I had to take an approval from him, though he is I don't know, I think he believes in me much more than I believe myself. Because he told me that, Simran, I think and you should do it, but of course, but one thing that he told me was, if you intend to do this, make sure you master all the skills before you get into this field. Just by preparing your, just working out and losing weight is not going to sort out. So you have to master every skill of pageantry. Only then you are ready for it. In fact, it was he who sat down with his laptop and started searching for different academies where I could go and get trained. So probably that is my biggest support system. He, in fact, told me, no, go for it. And that's where my entire journey began. And
I think
every
there's not
single day,
nothing. Yes, there's nothing. But what I was saying is, there's nothing better to have support. That kind of support, who believes in you more than yourself,
exactly.
probably.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you have also. Sorry, I'm sure you have also encountered. I encounter on a daily basis when I do my coaching, life coaching, where people come and say, पिताजी ने बोला शादी हो गई, उसके बाद मैंने कुछ किया ही नहीं. That rejection, and I use this word in every session that I'm doing. That word rejection. You were you. Let's also accept it. You were at some point in time that indirectly also had to face rejection from your parents. नहीं,
Of course.
बेटा but maybe it's out of love and care and affection, but there was a
Yes.
rejection attached to it, right?
Yes.
Like I had a rejection early on in my life when I told my father, buy me a bicycle, I want to ride across eastern our highway. He says, sorry, I can give you a bicycle, but you will not go to the highway. That was a rejection,
Of
right?
course.
What would you tell these youngsters today, that whose parents whose parents coming from probably a more caring umbrella mindset, कि बेटी का शादी के पहले कुछ गड़बड़ ना हो जाए, शादी हो जाए ठीक से, our responsibility is sorted, then let her do. What would you tell these people today when they have these kind of parents?
Sir, instead of speaking to the children, I want to talk to the parents. I have to tell them that please believe in your children's dream. Today, my son is filmmaking in New York school for his further studies in filmmaking, because we believe in as much as he believes himself. Otherwise, it was when I told everybody, they said, "Arey, kaise karega? Ye kya profession hai?" No, but I said, no, I believe in him. So I always want to talk to the parents and tell them, just let your children do what they want. But I'll tell you what, there is lot of transformation, there is a lot of change in parents that I meet. In fact, they are really looking forward to helping their own children to do what they want in life. I think the time has changed, sir. The time is really changing, and is changing for better.
Okay, I'm going on to the other extreme. On one side, the parents not allowing young girls, especially girls,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Even in India, even in the Indian context, there is a gender bias. Let's accept it, right?
Yes.
Right. So not allowing the girl child to do anything except over shadi kar le, education ho gaya, ab shadi kar le, now go to your husband's house and do whatever you want. On the other hand, and I see this very high, I'm not talking about whether it's absent or present in other cities, but I see it extremely high in Calcutta, right? Where the parents are putting a lot of pressure on the children to do multiple things. तू गाना भी गा ले, सारेगामा में भी चला जा, school maybe you need to be top in athletics, you need to be good in education, you need to be good. And we had this very tragic incident 3 years back when a child had died because of excess pressure in Calcutta. What would you tell those parents? Because you meet all sorts.
Yeah, actually, it is sad. I feel my message to those parents are don't overburden, don't the dreams that you have, you're asking your children to do that now. Because I think to be popular is some kind of a race that I see in parents. They want to make their children popular, they want them to do this, to do that, and it's like basically boasting in front of other parents that, you know, my child is doing this and my child is better than your child. I think that is a kind of a race the parents are in now, because children are still, you know, like they know what they want in life, they are going to do what they want, but parents keep pressure. I know so many children in my building, I never see them playing in the evening. I always ask them, in case if I meet them in the elevator, like, beta, I don't see you. Auntie, I had my drawing class, then I went for karate class, and then I went for this class, and I went for that class. So, but then where is your time? When are you, whatever you want to do, when are you going to do that? So actually, it's overburdening children, which I feel parents, please don't do that. Let them live, let them do what they want, because it is very important for them to be happy. If you, when you make your passion your profession, there is nothing like it.
And what if you can't make your passion your profession?
Then you have to be into this grinding and to this machine all your life, which maximum people I know are in. They have no choice, because first, and you know what the best part is, when I do training, there is a question that who has in life, who has it easier in life, men or women. There are maximum 90% of the girls say men have easier in life and women don't have it easier. I always think it's the other way around. Because for men, right from the time he's born, we tell him, you can't cry because you're a boy. We are expecting this out of you. So you are a boy, so you can't do this. You're the bread earner of the family. You have to take care of your family. I think, what is this? Then where is the gender thing gone? Then why this problem is there that everything is expected out of the boy? So I always feel boys have a more tougher life than girls.
Oh, you made my day, Simran. You made my day. Finally, someone said that boys have a much tougher life than the.
Exactly. That's what I think, because one fine day I can wake up in the morning and tell my husband, see, listen, today I don't want to continue with my business. I want to sit aram se. But do you think he has a choice? He still has to get up in the morning, leave for work, and work the whole day, come back and take us for international holidays, buy us the best of clothes, and do everything that we want. He cannot tell us one fine morning thing that I want to quit my job and I want to start singing.
Does he sing?
No, he sings. He sings. I
He
want him
sings.
to sing. I always tell him, go learn some, do it from classes, go for some classes. But he always tells me, no, the work pressure that I have. He's heading two departments in Mahindra and Mahindra. He's saying, I don't have that kind of time now. I'm
But
running. I'm in a race. I have
but
to give my family the best.
Touchwood, he's still working for one of the better organizations.
Yes.
Is
He
working for a much better organization. There's so many people who don't even have, right while he's in the race, is still probably not as bad off as a lot of other people who
exactly, exactly,
in that race. Okay,
exactly.
let's talk about your profession for now, right? You mentioned that you were a school teacher, which was the biggest shock of my life. That Simran Vig is a school teacher, right? And but then you graduated into uh, the Mrs. India. You competed there. Now you have a large personality development and a beauty pageant organization, right? You train a lot of. Why don't you train men?
Sir, I'll tell you why I don't train men. First, I am operating this entire academy, I'm operating from home.
What?
Secondly, yes, yes.
Okay. So you adopted the work from home long before we did.
Long, long back. I started work from home.
Okay.
And secondly, so because I am training this Femina Miss India, Miss Diva, and all other beauty pageants where in maximum pageants, actually bikini wear has become quite a compulsion. So
Hmm.
I don't like to, complicate a lot of things like getting first telling boys to come here, because when boys come and then girls in the same class, girls are not quite comfortable wearing bikini and walking. So I didn't want those complications. I wanted to do something which was like, you can just be yourself, you can get trained without any harassment.
Correct.
I see there are a lot of boys who call me up. They want to get trained, but I always tell them, boys training I don't mind doing online, because I'm anyways training my all US girls. I'm training them online on Skype,
Okay.
but I don't mind that. But I really cannot call them and put them in one class or in one batch and have a class, because I have classes from 12 to 4, 12 to 4:30. After that, there's no time left for me to take another batch.
Absolutely. Makes a lot of sense.
Yes, yes, yes.
Keeping life simple is, I think, one of the biggest traits that we all
True,
need
true.
to develop.
Yes. So
Otherwise,
you know what?
we
I always feel if you just follow the rules of life, what the rules have been made, if you follow that, your life will be never be complicated. Just follow them. Whatever the rules are set, just follow them. That's all.
amazing statement coming from a person who's so proficient in the social circle as you. And that is what I call, don't judge a book by its cover. The value systems that you just spoke about, you spoke about value systems. You didn't
Yes.
speak about anything, just spoke about the simple value systems of life.
Yes.
That follow the value systems and your life will be simple, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now the question, and a difficult one at this: how do you say no to your participants? There might be people who would want to come and enroll. Do you accept 100% of people who come in, or do you do a filtering? And do you have to, at some point in time, tell people you're not fit for this profession?
So first, I never filter. Second, I take every student that comes to me, because I always believe I have the capability of changing somebody to their best version. Because in no way can you just give up on somebody saying that I don't think you can do this. Because if I, a school teacher who was weighing 70 kgs, can become a beauty pageant Mrs. Congeniality, winning the most popular title, I think everybody can do. You should have the dedication, and you should just surrender yourself to your mentor, and then there's no looking back.
Which means what you're telling those participants once they have enrolled, to let go of their egos.
Yes, absolutely. There are many. I have fought, I don't know how many. There have been arguments, there have been battles, battle with myself, battle with them, because there are a lot of girls who come with a lot of baggage. They've seen thousands of YouTube videos, and I have seen in a YouTube video, this is how the girls walk. But I have to convince them that the girls who are walking for a Lakme Fashion Week are not pageant women. There is a lot of difference in in a ramp model and a pageant woman. There is a vast difference. Even the way you walk, the way you talk, what is thought, your thought process is totally different when you're a pageant woman. But if you're just a ramp model, different things are expected out of you. You can just walk. There has to be no smile, because if you smile, you're distracting from what the audience is supposed to see. Probably if I'm walking for Archana Kochar, then if I keep smiling, then people are going to look at my face and forget to look at the dress that I'm wearing. But as a pageant woman, the whole confidence is when you're smiling and you're walking in front of those 1,000 audience. So then they're all looking at your face and your dress, because that is how will show that you're a confident woman and you're not nervous. Though even if your legs are shivering inside, you have to have that smile and confidence on your face. So there are a lot of battles, there are a lot of challenges that I face. But I don't know, probably because I've come up a hard way. I always understand, I make them, I am available to them 24/7. This is, I think, probably this is my USP of Absolute L and Simran Vig. There is not a single girl who messages me at 12 in the night and I don't revert at 12 too. If I am awake. If I'm
Obviously,
not awake, then
obviously.
first thing in the morning is I will revert to the message that she has sent me. There are times, in probably because of the time zone difference in US and India, there are my time my girls send me the pictures of the gowns they are trying at 2:30 and 3 Indian Standard Time, and it's really night here, but I make sure I'm awake, I'm answering, I'm telling them this is not looking good and this is looking good. And probably that this is what has got me so far, because I'm absolutely approachable. I understand them, and I think they themselves are so good, sir. I have nothing. They are extremely good students. Fortunately, I've got everybody been extremely good.
So there is so many comments that are coming in, which is the epitome of dedication. But I think as individual coaches, and I know a lot of people, my friends, we're all in the, I think this is the biggest message that you're giving to all of us. And this is something that which is which I'm probably not doing. Let's be honest about it. I'm not doing it. But from today I'm going to do it. That if somebody has trusted me with his life or business challenges, you have to be available to that person. Is there a difference, Simran, between being approachable and being available at all times? Do
Um,
you at some point in time feel you're being taken for granted?
Sir, you know what? When I took up this, because I will tell you, I have been trained from different organizations, and I knew that half of them, where I spent lakhs of rupees, I realized that they had no clue of what the subjects are where pageantry is concerned. So the only reason why I started this academy was because I was cheated so many times, because people didn't know what pageantry is, and just because I inquired, because they said image building, and I asked them, if you're are you doing pageant training, they said yes, we're doing that also. So I didn't want to do that. I If I really compare to other people, the kind of money I have paid, I'm not even charging half or even quarter. But I feel my students trust me. If they take it as approachable or available, it's perfectly fine with me, as long as my students are happy. I don't remember even one student coming back or getting back or telling anybody that I'm not I've not been benefited with what Simran has taught me. You know what is my funda in life, sir? I only have one funda. That is, I like to deliver much more than that I've promised.
And if all of us on this planet just follow this one statement as professionals, I think this world will be a much better place.
Probably.
I was talking to a gentleman the other day in one of my the calls that I have as coaches. The gentleman called somebody who referred to Tom Peters. Tom Peters is one of the best known people coaches, and he said that in 90% of the organizations, in 90% of the organizations, people are warm, talented, dedicated, disciplined, knowledgeable, intelligent for the entire day, except the 8 hours they are there at their workplace.
I,
because we just don't seem to be contributing enough to the organizations that we have been working for. Okay,
Exactly.
Simran, one question that has come up, and I think I want to take it right now, is there's a lady who was asking me that I wanted younger, not lady, not a 40-year-old. She says, I want to become, I want to participate in the pageants. And I'm just rephrasing her question. But it seems to be so expensive. How do we how do we cross that barrier? Sometimes that the amount of money that people are talking about, and she must have spoken to multiple of those
Up,
training coach organizations. The money seems to be so huge. I come from a middle class family. From where do I find this kind of money? What would you tell her?
Sir, first rule of pageantry is that becoming a pageant woman is a very expensive hobby. It's very expensive. But now with multiple pageants coming up, then probably you can enroll yourself in some pageant which is not really asking for big money. Because if this is your dream, then you should live it. There is no problem. Every pageant has, of course, they have a rate card, like they have different charges that they do. But I feel if this is what is your dream, then probably there are a lot of pageants which charge you very, very less, but they give you, like I charge very less, but I give them the kind of training. I don't know where does this training happen, like the way I give them, because for me pageantry is a small school, and there are different subjects in it, and I make sure that every student masters every subject in the school of pageantry. So if she is interested, then she has to really look for some pageant which is not charging that much, and still I think there are a lot of people who are contacting me now, who are coming up with these new pageant, and they're not charging that much, and they're all those startups and those, those new entrepreneurs. You can always be part of those pageants.
Okay, okay.
But
So,
yes,
so,
sir.
so my question is, what what advice would you give to such women, young women, that what is the journey that they should take? See, end of the day, let's accept it. They should find the money.
Yes.
They have to find the money, and finding the money at some point in time may not be difficult. May be difficult. May not be easy. So
Yeah.
it should not become like the golf. That golf is a rich man's pastime,
Yes, yes, yes,
right?
yes,
So
yes.
how do you? What message would you give to these young women that there is a road, there is a pathway by which you can probably achieve the pageantry? Maybe not today, maybe a year from now, but you have to build. So what would you tell them?
First is you have to know what pageantry is all about. You have to make sure that if you want to be a pageant woman and you are anyways trying to put in that kind of money, then make sure that you get something out of it. Make sure that you hire a coach, make sure that you study every subject of pageantry well, and then probably I told you, dedication, determination and discipline, if that is there with you, then there is no looking back. Because good contestants is always what the entire pageant organization is looking for. And then probably you can do ramp modeling, you can become a model, you can do print modeling, and there is lot of work which is there. But only if you are really very dedicated, and if you think you have that kind of body, you have that kind of beauty, and you're ready to work on yourself, then there's no stopping. There's no stopping.
And you just told us that having the body is not important. You can work and make the body that you want, like
Of,
what you did, like
of
what you
course,
did.
of course. I was 70 kgs and today I just weigh 52.7.
And that too at the end 30s and 40s, not even at your 20s.
40s, sir, where actually losing weight is
It's
slightly difficult.
slightly more
Not
difficult, not
yes,
slightly more difficult than when you're at the 20s.
Absolutely, absolutely. But
Motive.
you have to be very dedicated. Even when I had a lot of contestants, my co-contestant with me, they're all still doing some ramp walk and they're doing. But for me, the thing was very clear in my head. The day I finish my pageant, I'm going to start my own academy, and I'm going to make sure that no more girls are cheated in name of pageantry. If they join a pageant organization, if they hire a pageant coach, then they should get the best out of it, but with very less fees, because my fees is very less.
So Simran, you just mentioned you are doing this from your house.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Now there is nobody in this world who does not have stress, right? And especially when you're doing from the same environment. We may have the best of spouses, but at some point in time, there are conflicts,
Of
right?
course, of
There are,
course.
there are health issues. There are other reasons.
Yeah.
How do you detach yourself from those negative emotional elements when you are at the 12:30 and your girls are there? How do you detach yourself? What is the secret?
So, you know what? First, what I believe in, the girls are here because they trust me, they believe me, and they know when they leave the academy at 4:30, they go back with something that today we have learned. We have to go back home and come back to her tomorrow with the kind of homework she's given me. So I make sure that even if there has been a conflict, there has been an argument even at 12, I make sure that I do not carry that to my class.
How? Tell us the
Because I do,
secret. Tell us the
because
secret.
I know yeah, because the girls who are here, they have paid me money. They are here to learn. I cannot cheat them. I cannot just tell them today I'm in no mood, so I don't want to take a class. I'm feeling very low. No. All that from 12 to 4:30, I just switch off that button in me, which is going to emotionally drain me down. I don't think about it. Probably at 4:30, I'm again charged up for another argument. But from 12 to 4:30, it is only my class, only my girls. And I have to make sure that they make the best out of when they are with me. They go back home like feeling satisfied. It was a good class, and I'm looking forward to the next class when I meet her.
This is amazing. I've never seen a person who's in the same environment. It's easier when you're stepping out and going to your workplace. It's easier. The switching off is easier because you're
Yeah.
meeting two, three different people, colleagues, etc., etc. You can switch on and switch off. But same environment,
Yeah.
you're switching on and switching off for those 4 hours. This talks a huge amount about the dedication that you put into your workplace.
Yeah.
Uh, so, Simran, tell us some interesting stories about your participants. I'm sure you have seen somebody whom you didn't expect to win or do well, and somebody who's been transformed because of the program that she undertook with you, or 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 she went and won something, some life transformation. I'm sure you have done huge, huge amount of life transformation.
Life transformation are many. But one girl I very clearly remember, I think she came from a place like Dahisar because she used to change 3 trains and come to me. That is what I knew.
So where
But
is this? Where do you operate from?
Chembur.
Chembur. Okay.
So I knew this girl would change 3 trains. She had 2 kids back home with her. I think even challenged kind of a. I think her in-laws couldn't hear and talk, and like hearing kind of a issue that they had. But she used to change 3 trains and come. First day when she came to my class, she said, "Simran, I'm just coming for a trial class and I want to see how you are." I said, "Perfect, no problem. Please come." When she walked into my academy, I see her with one pink pants and some black shirt and some black shrug. And I looked at her and I told her, "See, I really like you. You have a very pretty face, but you have to get rid of this pink pants that you're wearing. The shrug that you have is too outdated. And only if you trust me, You're left with your wardrobe, that analysis that I'm going to do, probably then we can work together. And I cannot tell you the kind of a woman that she looks today, a $1 million woman that she looks today. She's got 1 million followers on Instagram.
1
I am
million.
shocked. And you know what? I'll tell you what I like about her. Every morning she wakes up, she dresses up, she does her makeup, and she clicks pictures and she uploads 10 pictures every single day, even in lockdown period when we were like all mopping and cleaning and cribbing till 4 o'clock. But this girl would wake up, dress up, show up, and I'm not amazed by she having 1 million followers.
1 million followers on Insta.
Yes, I cannot believe, but that is a real, and she's also advertising for some products. The transformation is, but one thing that I like about her is whenever I comment on her picture, she always reverts back and says that, Simran, if you wouldn't have pushed me to this, I wouldn't have come so far.
But pushing is one bit. You can push a person, right? But the transformation has to be done by that person.
Yes, dedication. You know what, sir? I drill into their mind, I drill into their system. Like they start breathing, I have to change, I have to change for better, I have to change every day. No, I put that into their system totally. I inject that kind of thing into their system totally. That's
Amazing.
the kind of training.
Amazing story. Amazing story. What about some shocks that you have got in life that you did not expect somebody to, to even come to you? And I'll tell you one of the incidents that I had when I was teaching in Wellingkers. There was this young girl who used to sit on the last bench in a very, very uh, ordinary, if I can use the word. I'm sorry, girls, if you're hearing me. Salwar. You could realize that she has picked it up from that roadside shops. No fitting, nothing. And then for 8 sessions, we used to run the program, run the sales and marketing. And last day, all of them had to make a presentation on a particular topic. And that day, I used to go and sit on the last bench, right? And the transformation that I saw in her coming from Borivali, sorry, not Borivali, coming from Karjat, the transformation that you had, I said, money can never buy this happiness that I got today by seeing this girl transformed so much. So what about other such instances? I'm sure you have many of them, because what I'm wanting you to do, Simran, is this vast majority of people who are sitting out there who are saying my life has come to an end at the age of 25, 30 because of COVID, because of economy, because of job loss, because of salary cuts, because of parental pressure, because of husband pressure, because of in-law pressure. So honestly, if you want to find excuses, you can find 50 different excuses,
Of course, of
right?
course, of course.
But there's this vast majority of people who are doing this. And here is somebody who's come from that journey of a school teacher to an entrepreneur who's transforming people. What would you tell these people? What are the examples you would share with them?
So I think I am one major example who have gone through great rough patches in life when my husband didn't have job in those days because he was looking for something which was really good.
No,
And
no, no,
it
no.
was me.
Hold on to this. Are you trying to tell me that when you were walking this journey, your husband had no job for a particular period of time?
No, this was when I was supporting him financially when I was working as a school teacher.
Oh, you're going back to those days.
Yes, yes. So
Okay.
there have been great rough patches in life. But every morning when I wake up, I look into the mirror and say, switch on the sunshine. The day has just begun. My life has just begun. I like to challenge my own challenges. There is
How,
nothing that you should fear. There is nothing that you should worry about. You should only see what good what are you good at, and make sure that you actually, the potential that you have, just get that thing out. I knew teaching was there in me, it was running in my blood. But I just changed the entire stream from a school teacher to become a pageant coach. And I started transforming life. And which is so important. There's nothing that you see, even if you are going to cry, what is going to change? Nothing. Then might as well, why not be happy and do make some changes in your own life and even in changes of life of others?
No, I'm still shocked by this one statement again. The first statement you tell me you were a school teacher. Now, second statement you're telling me that when you were a school teacher and that was at a very early stages of marriage, I would guess, when you were a school teacher and you're supporting a family because your husband was looking for something more appropriate for himself and he was unemployed.
Yes.
And to
Yes.
come up from that stage, both of you,
Yes.
to where you are today,
Yeah.
what are we all crying about then today?
You know what? I think both of us are very, very, very focused. We are very hardworking, and we are very passionate about whatever we are doing in life. Probably that is why we have, whatever we have achieved. I haven't achieved anything as of now, because for me, it's just begun. Even for him, he feels, there is so much and he has to
Hmm.
learn. Like, we read, both of us are avid readers, we travel, we talk, we discuss current affairs, we discuss every single day.
How much of
And
net? How much of Netflix and Amazon Prime and Hotstar do you guys watch?
son, every night one Hollywood movie we both have to watch. It's mandatory.
No, that is every night, right? How that is only for about 90 minutes
Hmm.
of the 24 hours of a day. In the 24 hours, how much of your Amazon Prime and Netflix and Hotstar or whatever you may call to
No, no,
watch?
no, sir. So we have no time for that, because we are all planning for the next move that we are going to do. He is planning with these different travels that he has to do with his work. I plan what is my next, what am I going to do next with my season 2 of the talk show. How many more, so how can I get all my students on one platform to train them? There are a lot of pageants that are coming up. They are calling me up and they want me to train their girls. So there's a lot of work. I have to keep planning. So there's no time for no Netflix, no Netflix marathon.
What would you tell all those people? And
Um,
I and no and let me complete. End of March. I'm not a webinar person at all. I'm a very face-to-face person. I love teaching face-to-face, right? But the circumstances forced us to move into this model, the webinar model. And end March, when I was doing a webinar, and I told people that how you spend the next 8 to 10 weeks of your life is going to determine the amount of success that you're going to get in life.
of course, of
And
course.
I've seen so many people spending that entire valuable time on Netflix and Amazon Prime and blood. Because two things you mentioned very clearly, and I would just want you to expand on that. You said you're avid readers, both of you.
Yes.
There is no substitute for knowledge.
Of course, of course, of course.
And you watch one movie, which is your relaxation in the evening,
Yes, sir, yes.
right?
And I'll tell you why I see that movie, because I like the way their accent, the way they talk. I want to work on my vocabulary, so I'm watching those movies. Not that I'm really interested, but I like to work on my vocabulary. I want to work on myself. I want to become a better person every day. That is why that one movie is mandatory.
What would you tell, finally, Simran, and I want you to take a tough stance now. What would you tell all these people who are so despondent and they're sitting on their couches today in front of the television and cribbing about everything that has changed in their life? Maybe rightly or wrong. They may have lost their job. There could be downsizing in organizations. There could be downsizing in salaries. It could happen. I'm not saying that. But what single message are you going to give all of them? All these young men and women, not and parents and the population of Mumbai and whoever is going to watch you. What are you going to tell them? That when people complain that COVID has destroyed our life.
I feel my message is very loud and clear. Just wake up, show up, dress up, and start working on yourself more. Even if you get upset, nothing is going to change. Might as well work for a better tomorrow. Look for more options. Start working. Be more happy, but you have to work on yourself. By just cribbing, nothing is going to change. But by working, everything will.
Fantastic. I think that's an awesome statement that by cribbing, nothing is going to change. By working on yourself, a lot can change.
Of course, of course.
So Simran, as we come, and I've seen so many, Tuhin says, fantastic. We got benefited from whatever she has said. There are a lot of comments on Nikhil Nair, who says, make your passion your profession. Example of Simran. What amazing confidence. I'm getting a lot of those comments. But as we come to the end of this 1 hour of valuable time that you have given all of us, Simran, what is Simran 2.0? If this is Simran 1.0, what is Simran 2.0?
So everything is still under wraps, hidden. You're going to get to know much more of Simran 2.0 in short time. I don't want to, talk about it now, but there is so much in Kitty, but still time to even talk about it.
No, I don't want you to get into specifics. Maybe there's some business ideas, etc. I don't want you to get into the specifics. I'm sure at an appropriate time that will come. But what are those dreams that you're chasing now?
So my dreams that I'm chasing now is to transform as many more women that I can, as many women that I can help to become a better version or the best version of themselves.
So that's a dream that you have.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
And that's a dream that you're going to live. You're
I
actually
do
going to
it
live
every
through.
day.
You live it every day.
Yes, yes.
Simran, I have no words to thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me here. Thank
No,
you.
no. See, this is
Thank
your
you.
journey and your motivations. And the last statement, the powerful statement that you leave behind with all of us, that the world is not going to change by cribbing, but
Of
a
course.
lot can change by working on yourself and looking at alternatives.
Of course. Of course.
Simran, there's one last question that I have out here is
Hmm.
how can we become like Simran? What are the
Simran,
five things that you would tell a young girl who's still in her 20s and dreaming, and wants to, and she has looked at you and created you as a role model? What are those 5 things that you would want to tell her? And she comes from a middle class family. She doesn't have money.
I can at this moment say passion, dedication, determination, discipline, and smile. Very important. Just smile for everything that you have in life. And you're going to get much more, much more. So just keep smiling.
Okay. And after the smile, I would for Simran, and this is dedicated to Simran, I would add a G, because Simran gives. Simran
Thank you.
gives. So
Thank you.
the 4 Ds and the S which Simran said, and I add a G to that. Young lady, you do the 6 things in life, you will become somewhere close to Simran. You can never become Simran.
Oh, no,
She's
sir.
a, she's a she's a world apart. She's somebody who has transformed herself, and she's transforming the world. And believe me, when I approached Simran last week, that Simran, I want you on the show, she did not blink an eyelid. She said, yes, I want to, because I want to share my story. Thank you so much, Simran.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. God
Thank you,
bless
sir.
you. God
Thank you.
bless you. Achieve everything that you have and that you want from life. May you lead a absolutely healthy and happy life. Wealth will follow.
Wish you the same, sir. Wish you the
Thank you
same.
so much.
Thank you.
And for people who don't know this, I've never met Simran in my life.
I know.
This is the
So
first
we
time I'm
should.
seeing Simran live. I've never even seen Simran live in the past. Right? So
Yes,
hopefully I live with that dream that one day Simran and I will meet in person, and
of
we'll have
course.
so much to talk about. Simran,
Of
thank you so
course.
much. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take
Thank
care
you.
of yourself. God
Yeah.
bless.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone who has joined in both on Facebook and Zoom. These videos will be available to you. Please look at these videos. Please take the learnings from Simran, because she has left a lot on the table for you guys, especially the youth. The world has not come to an end because of COVID. The world has only begun. And look at life that way, and you will be a different person altogether. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.